Got that. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Here we are talking about heroism. Where does that begin? Where does that begin in your life? Anybody here think of yourself as wanting an opportunity to be a hero in life? Okay, 12 of you. Yeah, wanting to be a hero. Okay, where does that begin? Where does that begin? Sometimes life thrusts it upon us, like Edie's story. My story is so different, so different. After the war, okay, the people came back to America. We had a new thing. I was born, end of the 40s, new thing in houses everywhere. TV set. And I used to watch when I was a little tiny child on our TV set. I found my hero, who I wanted to be for the rest of my life. My little 4-year-old self would watch this giant box with a round screen on it, Hopalong Cassidy. He was a cowboy hero, and he would ride into a town dressed all in black, and he had a silver revolver, and wherever the town there was, it was having a difficulty. Bullies there, corrupt politicians there, rustlers and thieves, and persons who brought life down, and Hoppy would ride in and take care of everything, and at the end of the episode, he wouldn't get paid. He wouldn't take anything. He would just wave and ride off. And as a little 4-year-old, that was captivating to me. I even had my own little Hopalong Cassidy suit, all in black with a little silver revolver that was my image of heroism. And then life went on. Hoppy eventually retired. And then I was 9, and a new hero came on the box in my house, Zorro. And Zorro was all dressed in all black, okay? Another old person out here, I think. Zorro was all dressed in black. He had a silver sword. And like Hoppy, he would ride in, and nobody really even knew who he really was in life. He was anonymous. And he cared so much that he would be anonymous. And again, corrupt politicians and rustlers and persons who would bring the community down, he would handle them, dispatch them, and restore order, and restore peace, and restore happiness. And that brought my little 9-year-old heart to life. I want to be a hero like Zorro. And then I was 15 years old, and a friend of mine in study hall gave me this novel, a James Bond novel, You Only Live Twice, it was called. And James Bond is sent to Japan. And here I am, this boring little 15-year-old kid in suburban Dayton, Ohio, reading this story. And James Bond goes to Japan, and he's trained by these black-clad Togakure-ryu ninja secret agents, all dressed in black with silver stars. It was almost painful. It was so cool to read this. And we only have a few minutes. So we're going to jump forward several years. I'm in Japan. I've talked my way into the Togakure-ryu Ninja School, a 34-generation-old secret society, and I'm the first American in there. I do have 20 books that I've written if you want to read the whole story. Okay, but the fast story is, here I am. Then I did that. I was so determined, and I was so motivated by that look that even though it made absolutely no sense at all, logically. How about this? Anybody in the audience, could you tell a story, if we had a few more moments, a story about your life where against all rational logic, something important and powerful happened in your life and got you on your way? Could anybody tell a story like that? That was my story. And then we'll step forward a few more years, and I went out adventuring. I used to tell people I saw too many Indiana Jones movies. Ended up in India. Met the Dalai Lama, and then through the 1990s, on occasion, I was able to travel with him as his personal security escort. How fortunate was I? And so here I had the lore of the Togakure ninja martial art, and I had the ultimate coach in terms of understanding human nature and human spirit. On the other hand, he taught me a code. He taught me a code to go along with the warrior protector code. And this was called the code of the awakened hero, the bodhisattva code, and there's 6 parts of this code that I'll very quickly share with you today here. 6 parts of this code of the hero. And you got to have all 6 in there. You've got to have all 6. You can't have 4 out of 6 or 5 out of 6. All 6. The very beginning of the code. The very beginning of the code is generous caring. With my every word, thought, and action, I am inspired by the heroic ideal of generous caring. That's where we begin. Caring. Maybe you could tell a story of a time in your own life you cared so much. There's so much you wanted to do to help that you forgot about yourself. You forgot about yourself. And that's the kind of special caring that it took. So for those years, I traveled as a guard, as a protector, to keep safe someone that I considered to be a very beautiful person in the world. To put someone else's welfare ahead of your own convenience or even safety. One time I got a call from the Dalai Lama's office. They said, it's not the Dalai Lama, but there's a prison near where you live, a prison, and there's some people in there who would like to learn more about Buddhism. Would you take one of our Tibetan Lamas there to the prison and escort him in, just keep him safe, maximum security prison? So, sure, I'd be glad to do that. So I picked this man up. We went to the prison, walked in there. I don't know, anybody here spent considerable time in a maximum security prison? 48 of you. Okay, well, that's good. No, so we were in the prison and going through the security and so forth. It took so long that they finally said, well, the meeting that was scheduled is kind of late. We're going to have lunch. You want to have lunch with us at the prison? Why not? I'm always up for an adventure. So the Tibetan Lama and I went into where this lunch was going to be served in the prison, and we're looking around, and I asked him, have you ever been in an American prison? He said, no. And I said, well, just stay close to me, and it'll be okay. And they explained to me, well, this prison was designed for 1,500 people, but right now we've got 2,400 living here, so they're kind of crowded and getting on each other's nerves. So just sort of stay alert. I said, well, are there any guards in here? And he said, oh, yeah, the guards, they're back there in the corner. I looked, and there are 3 guys with their head in the soup bowl just eating like this. And okay, so I told the Lama, so just stay with me. Because, see, I'm the only guy there with a suit, a business suit and a necktie, standing next to a small Asian man who appears to be wearing a purple dress. So we kind of stood out. So I'm getting ready to go in there, and here's the line, and all of a sudden this guy appears behind this row of trays. And he's a tall guy, scary guy. He's got this like spider web tattoo on him. He's really standing up there, and he leans out over the tray and looks at me, and he looks at the monk, and he goes, "You're really living dangerously now." Oh, great. Here we go. So my mind kicks into protector mode. I'm looking at this, and okay, the trays are all stacked up on these little wheelie things, so they slide around like that. And I notice the trays are stacked up upside down. So if he comes over at us, if I hit this wheel with my heel, the trays roll over that way, they'll slide off, and so people wouldn't be able to crawl over this thing. At that point, I'm going to move the monk behind me. We're going to get right through this little window, and I noticed there they had a hose with real hot water on there, and we're going to be trapped in there, but the guys would have to come through one at a time if they did come in this window, and I could hold them off there till alarms went off. At least we would be safe in there for a moment. And I look back at this guy, and then I got it. He was talking about the food. He was talking about the food. You're living real dangerously. So I said to him, yeah, we were actually supposed to go to the Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in the Ritz-Carlton across the street. They were all filled up, and they sent us here. And he laughed and gave me a tray, and we went through there. So sometimes putting ourselves so far out there, okay, we could get lost. So the second important thing we want to do with this code of the enlightened warrior, the second is we've got our own code that we live by. Now, I use a code of 14 of these things. I've got them in a book here. There are too many to go through. The first one is I'm a protector. I protect life and health, and I avoid violence whenever possible. And all the students who study our martial art, they learn that as one of the first things they do. Try it out, we say. I'm a protector. I protect life and health. I avoid violence whenever possible. As opposed to being a predator. You teach somebody how to hurt people with martial skills. You've got to be very, very careful what you're turning loose in the community. That's something I feel very strong about. So care, okay? There's a code. Every now and then I get some individual who comes in and goes, well, yeah, I want to study the martial art with you, but I don't want to go for this Boy Scout or Sunday school code stuff. And I said, okay, well, I mean, everything's an option in here. But hey, you know what I've noticed in my life is the more dangerous the group is, the more important it is to have a code. United States Marines, the samurai, the Jedi, they all have a code that's going to guide them to make the right kind of decision, so you don't have to make the decision under pressure. You've already pre-planned what you stand for. So the second part is to have a code. Third part is that I realize that I don't take opposition personally. It's called enduring or patience. I don't take opposition personally. My experience is sometimes the brighter you are, the more beautiful your message and the more you're trying to help out there in the world, there's a counter force that comes back up. For all the brightness, there's a darkness that can come up and take over. So I don't take opposition personally. I understand that. Fourth part of the code is effort. I'm going to do something. Courageous effort. It's not just talking. We're going to do something. We got a couple of seconds. Do you want to do a martial art lesson here? Want to try it out? Okay, do this. Put your strong side, right side or your left side, forward in your chair and kind of lean towards me here, okay? Here's what's going to happen. I got a big sloppy snowball here. Okay, I'm going to throw it. Hit you right between the eyes. Okay, everybody see the sloppy snowball? Okay. Your job is when you see me get ready, when you see me make up my mind, not throw the thing, but when you see me make up my mind to go into violent action, you're going to take your front hand, you're going to point, and you're going to go, hey. Everybody got that? Okay. So you got your front hand out. When you see me ready to make my move, you're going to do that, hey. Are you ready? Let's do a rehearsal. Try it. Ready? Here's the snowball. Okay. Now I'm going to be tricky with you. See if you can tell when I'm about to throw it. Nah, you're too jumpy. Need a little seasoning. Ah, there you go. Okay, let's be a little more subtle. Are you ready? Okay, you tuned in. You got to be tuned in. What? There it is. I didn't even get my hand in the air. Oh, you're great. All right, you're great. Yeah, so training, putting into action. Number five is called meditation. But what it means is I'm here, I am now. I am here, I am now. I'm in the moment, okay? And six is called wisdom. We go through all these experiences, okay? Our heart blossoms, our heart's broken. We help, we do our best. We come back, and the wisdom is the part that guides all the rest of that. So very, very quick overview of what I've been working on in my life that I share as the code of the hero that the Dalai Lama taught me after I finished training with the Grandmaster of the Ninja. I care. Okay? We've got a code that we live by. Okay? I don't take opposition personally. Okay? I do stuff. All right? There is effort and courage in there. Connection and wisdom. Hey, may you live a heroic life. May you find the stories that bring your life into blossom. So wonderful to be here and share with you today. Thank you. Thank you.